I want to just first of all say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that 2018 is a great year for everyone, and I just want to acknowledge that there are people who are cold right now, and I hope that they can find a place to warm themselves. I want to thank Craig and Owen for being here, and Shayna and Hitesh, thank you very much. This is a really important day, an important couple of days in Ontario. There are a lot of changes that are happening, and we wanted to just make sure that everyone was aware of exactly what it meant that OHIP Plus is going to be in place and is in place now as of January 1st. What that means is that as of January 1st, as of yesterday, any young person in Ontario with a prescription who needs to get a prescription filled, anyone who is under the age of 25 can get their prescription filled at a registered pharmacy for free. And that is going to make a huge difference in the lives of those young people and in the lives of those families. Depuis le 1er janvier, tous les médicaments d'ordonnance sont gratuits pour les jeunes de 25 ans et moins en Ontario. So this is an important change. It's the largest expansion of Medicare in a generation. Ontario is leading the way. We recognize that, however, there is more that needs to be done. So although we are thrilled that OHIP Plus is going to cover prescription medications for young people between birth and their 25th birthday, we recognize that there's more that needs to be done and that the whole population needs to have access to that kind of support. Our hope is that the federal government will join us in this conversation in 2018. We have been pushing, both Minister Eric Hoskins and I have been pushing with our colleagues across the country to advocate for a pharmacare plan across Canada. I think we all agree that if we were putting Medicare in place today, we would recognize that there was a gap when we first implemented Medicare in Canada, and so having a pharmacare plan for everyone is an important part of that. So filling that gap. So we are moving ahead in Ontario, but we will be looking to the federal government to partner with us as we look at more ways to support people and their needs. Our OHIP Plus plan is part of a bigger plan to promote fairness in Ontario. You will also be aware that yesterday the minimum wage rose to $14 an hour. And again, that is about acknowledging that Ontario is doing very, very well. Our economy is growing. We're leading growth in the country. We're outstripping the growth of G7 countries. But that growth and that wealth creation is not benefiting people evenly. And so as government, our role is to do everything that we can to make our society as fair as we possibly can. So OHIP Plus is part of that, raising the minimum wage to $14 an hour this January, and next January to $15 an hour is part of that. Free tuition for young people from middle and low middle income families is part of that. We recognize that there are more supports like increasing rent control. We've spread rent control to all privately held rental properties. So those are all part of our plan to make sure that Ontario is as fair a place as it can be. I think particularly at this time of year, we can be acutely aware that there are people who are doing very, very well, but there are people who are not sharing in that and not doing as well. And so my belief is that government exists to even that playing field, to make our society as fair as possible. So OHIP Plus is part of that. It's going to make a huge difference in the lives of millions of people across this province. And I'm going to ask Shayna to just come and speak just for a moment about, she just got her prescription filled, and you would have heard her say that it was going to save her hundreds of dollars a month, and I'm just going to ask her to come and talk about what this is going to mean to her. And Shayna is a 17-year-old in grade 12 here in Toronto.
Hi, my name is Shayna Wysetill. As Kathleen Wynn said, I'm a grade 12 student, and I'm also a volunteer at Planned Parenthood Toronto. I'm on a few different medications right now, and right now I'm covered under my parents' insurance, but in a couple years when I graduate school I won't be, and so this new legislation is going to potentially save me hundreds of dollars a month, which is really exciting. I also think it's really important that the government is taking steps to recognize reproductive health as a right. So under this new legislation, there are a few different kinds of hormonal birth control that are covered. And although at Planned Parenthood we're able to offer some forms or most forms of hormonal birth control at a reduced price or sometimes even for free, this new legislation gets rid of even more barriers in the sense that now people don't have to get themselves to Planned Parenthood. They can just go to their local pharmacy. It also means that now people, as opposed to having to make decisions based on their health on what they can afford, they can now be making decisions based on what's best for them, which I think is really exciting. It's also vitally important that this new legislation covers medicine for people that are transitioning and also for mental health, and I think all of those things are really exciting, and I'm really happy about this new legislation, so thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you very much. And I want to just